Calcio, che comunque il calcio è imprevedibile e le cose non sono mai scontate, quindi è anche la bellezza, no, di questo sport.
Io rappresentavo per questa squadra, era quello che non mollava mai, quello che doveva fare stare sempre sul morale, ma io mi ci trovavo bene perché sono sempre stato uno che mi piaceva dare fuoco ai miei compagni, incaricarli prima delle partite.
Il mio sogno si è avverato, è uno dei sogni dei bambini, di tanti bambini.
Il gol è un qualcosa per la gente che riusciamo a fare diventare matti, riusciamo a fare diventare felici e contenti.
Con questa maglia devo veramente fare una performance diversa perché sto rappresentando uno dei club più grandi al mondo.
When I think of Milan's red and black, the love so deep I can't hold back. Through the highs and lows we stand so true. No matter who's in charge, we'll see it through. And I'm no zone every day, even when the red bird's in the way. The people Milanista Street 60, defensive dynamo. We keep the spirit, let that Rossoneri glow. Ownership may change, but our pride stays strong. True to Milan, we've been here all along. Hosts with passion, fans with fire. For our club, we'll always aspire.
Milan Nation, buenos dias, good morning, what's cracking? It's your host Nico and I'm back. Another episode of the Milanista Report. I know today Milan's playing Liverpool, second friendly of the season. I don't have access to the game. I could probably watch it on some free stream and deal with a bunch of ads. The last time I checked, it was 1-1. Looks like Loftus-Cheek was playing pretty good today, according to some of the chats that I follow. Looks like Leao had a hell of a goal too with his weak foot. Playing a 3-5-2. So in that regard, we're looking like Allegri ball is in full effect. All right. With that being said, everybody in the chat, looks like we've got 6 people in the chat. Thanks for locking in this morning, fellas. Good afternoon, wherever you're from. Good evening. Good morning again. All right, let's get this cracking today. So today we're going to be talking about Allegri's coaching staff, kind of breaking down their profiles, their experiences in Serie A and football in total. Then we'll get to our newest signing, Pervy, Estupian. New left back that's replacing Theo. Jashari talk. All right. Then we'll be getting into comparing Milan's revamped midfield with Napoli's midfield, being that some Milan fans out there think that this midfield is good enough for easily top 4, without a doubt, or even in some cases competing for this medal. Being that we're only playing, one competition. Then we'll get into where's Milan's youth players. We're just seeing a ton of them being dropped out of the team. And then we'll close out the show with any comments and questions. So bring it. All right, first things first. Let's get into Allegri's coaching staff. Just bring it up to the screen here. Where is it? Here we go. Presentations. Here we go, fellas. Get the banner out of the way. Ooh, bitch, out of the way. Morning, Angelo. What's good? All right, all right. Let's see. Sorry, fellas. It's been a minute since I've been on Restream. What we got? Let's get rid of that. All right, here, bang. Allegri's coaching staff. All right. So let's break this down. So if you're not familiar, let's get rid of the logo too. Design, logo, bam. All right, so if you're not familiar, so in the past, we've spoken about how important coaching staffs are, right? In terms of preparing the team during training session, being that there's so many goddamn players in the field. We need coaching staff, people out there to kind of run the drills, run the sessions, help the individual players and individual tactics, techniques, whatever. In addition, in some cases, a lot of coaching staff, assistant coaches actually help prepare teams for their games, defensive tactics, formation, things like that, right? So let's dive into it. First one is Mario Rombetta. He's the technical coach. All right, this dude is a former right back. He's been around the game for quite a while. Served as an assistant coach at Udinese, Bologna. He had some other clubs as well. He was at Roma for a bit, a historic point against Roma. So more importantly, right, bringing up these coaches. Every single of these coaches is going to see a trend. They're all defensive-minded coaches. In this case, Mario Rombetta, Maurizio, he really emphasized, really big on being compact, structured positioning, funneling your opponents wide to the wide channels, forcing them wide the ball, right? Right. Want to force them wide, keep them away from the middle of the field. All right, exactly what Allegri likes to do. So you know what I'm saying? So boom, is Maurizio Trombetta. He also focuses on collective defensive responsibility. Another big thing, meaning every player on the field, not 9, not 10, not 8. All 10 players on the pitch need to fucking defend. Defend as a unit. All right. That's Maurizio Trombetta. Second one. Let's bring up the chat too, fellas, here. All right. Let's do this instead. Next one up, Aldo Dorsetti. Butchered this boy's name up. Apologies. Still working on my first cup of coffee. So Aldo Dorsetti, former midfielder, right? He's with AC Milan Primavera in 2011, 2013. He was with Juve, collaborated from 14 to 19 and then 21 to 24. Right? When he was at Milan Primavera, he was really big on the 4-4-2, reaching 2 Final 8 semis in the Briego final. Big on strong defensive shape, conceding minimal goals. Again, defensive-minded coach. I'm telling you right now, just to kind of get ahead of myself, all these coaches you're going to see here, all are defensive coaches. Not one is an offensive coach. So this is what we're getting this season, fellas. All right. He's really big on zonal organization, midfield discipline, minimizing the gap between the line, meaning that pivotal space, right? How much space between the midfield, the back line, and the midfield and the forwards, right? Which we saw again and again last season, the season before. Disarray, people all over the pitch. The gaps between the midfield and the back line was fucking atrocious. So Allegri is trying to fix this. He's bringing in these coaches like this, like Maurizio, like Aldo. In addition to that, Aldo is also known for being an analytical coaching, focusing on game management, studying the opponent, and this is the kicker, and seamless youth to senior tactical coherence, meaning he emphasizes on the youth. And I can tell you right now, the way I'm seeing it, I don't see any of our youth being utilized this season. Next one up, Booyaka, Bernardo Corradi, another technical coach, former Italian international striker. He was recently with the Italian U20 team. He stepped down to join Allegri at Milan, obviously. Again, brought into the staff to enhance attack defensive transition. So that's the minute we lose the ball, we're transitioning into our rest defense, or set defense, right? Whatever set defense that is, being a five in the back, 5 in the middle, whatever. Are we pressuring the ball right away? Are we going back into a mid press, right? And I go, or a low block, whatever the case is. So he's being brought in to actually focus on the transition from the attack to defensive transitions, right? Meaning our midfield is getting back in time, covering that space, right? As well, so those third man runs, those back cuts and things like that. Also, big thing about Bernardo, he actually big on bridging the first team and youth development, having experience with emerging talents in national youth structures. So the last two coaches were big on youth, right? And we'll see how that goes, but I can tell you right now, the way it looks, I don't see that happening again, unfortunately. I mean, we're seeing already how many of our top youth players, we'll get to that later in the show, they've just been disregarded time and time again. Angelo, if you're still in the chat, Angelo, give me your thoughts on these coaches, Angelo. Anybody else in the chat as well? What do you guys think about these coaches that Allegri brought on? Because obviously we're seeing, like I said, we're seeing this really big trend. Every single these coaches so far are defensive coaches. So not much exciting football, fellas. Sorry to tell you. Allegri ball 3.0 is in effect. Next one up. He's Marco Landucci. Assistant manager, goalkeeping coach. So I don't know, he might be the main goalkeeping coach with Mike this season, which means, again, that's the case. Because the last 2 seasons, Mike's had two different goalkeeping coaches. All right. He had Dita for a bit, and they brought in somebody else. Changed his techniques a little bit, kind of fucked with them, I think, in his head. And that kind of, we saw the reasons for those near post shots going in, right? It shouldn't, in any case, no excuses, but I think his technique was all jacked up from these goalkeeping coaches a little bit. This guy, Marco, he's been with Allegri since 2006, with Cagliari, obviously Milan, Juve, now back at Milan. All right. He's big on advanced methods for goalkeeping training, rebound machines, positional drills, elevating keeper anticipation and distribution. So it looks like in that regard, he should be able to help Mike with his stuff and our backup keeper as well, Tereshana. I'll get to Tereshana in a minute. We might do it. I don't know. Also, he's in addition to his goalkeeping responsibilities, he's in charge of defensive coordination, ensuring the back line and keeper act seamlessly in a high line setup. So he's going to be responsible how the keeper communicates with his center backs, and his left back and his right back, or is, 3 center backs, depending how we play this season. We're playing with a four back system, 3 back system. I have no idea. So again, another one. Boom. Big on defensive structure, defensive organization, working as a team, communication, right? We're seeing a trend, fellas. And finally, last one. All right, so this is kind of an overview of everything. So all these coaches are about being compact shape. Pretorius is big on limiting central space, channeling the ball to go wide, right? That's reinforced by Trombetta and Josetti. Pressing structure, right? What's those pressing triggers? What to look for to press? Loose bad passes, first bad touches, right? Players not paying attention, being a little distracted, right? Things like that. It shouldn't happen at a pro level, but it does sometimes, right? For fucking reasons. We're fucking human beings. Goalkeeper backline synergy. That's from Landucci. And the last one, youth integration. All right, ensuring a tactical consistency from the Primavera to the first team. And that last one, I could the other ones that I talked about, the other defensive principles and tactics, I can see that happen. I can see to some degree, even though some of the midfielders are not the best midfielders we have, we still have Moose on the team. We still have lost his cheeks. I have he's lost my trust at all, 100% lost his cheek. I don't trust him a bit, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I don't care how he's playing today. He made one good tackle. That's not enough for me. Come on, you got to do more than that to gain my trust back. Lost his cheeks. But the last one, youth integration, I don't see it happening one bit at all. Like I said, Angelo, exactly. We did miss that, right? The last time we played really good defense is when we won the Scudetto. I'm not saying we're going to win the Scudetto this season with this team. No. But at least we're not going to get wrecked. I think even with the lack of ball-winning midfielders, which is huge, all right, it's a big one. I just don't see us really competing for anything this year. What's up, Fadinho? Yeah, so Fadinho, I don't know if you caught everything, but yeah, I just went over the defensive, all the coaching staff that Allegri brought on, people he's worked on in the past, and every single one of them are defensive-minded coaches. So just get that into your head, Fadinho. We're playing defense this season. We're not scoring goals. Allegri and his staff could care less about scoring goals, which is fine. We're going to have boring football, extremely boring football. All right. But unfortunately, this youth integration, some of these coaches that are big on integrating the youth, is not going to happen unless out of necessity. All right. Which we've seen with Pioli. The only time he played the youth when he was forced his hand when somebody was hurt. All right. Even with Carmada too, when he got promoted to the first team. How many times did we see him play? He had moments of brilliance where he looked fucking great on the ball, looked dangerous, should be our next striker. Where is he now? He's gone. All right, Zaroli gone, Simic gone. We'll get into these players in a minute, the big names. There's a whole bucket list of players that have been let go. All right, and even Toriani. Against him right now, he looked good again preseason. He looked great last season, 2 preseason, and when they went to the United States, he looked fucking great. Everybody was raving about the kid. And where's he now? Fonseca's looking to get him. I don't see him playing because now we have Tedesano, who's like 30-something years old. He's near his end of his career. As our backup keeper to Mike, because we lost Sportiello. Sportiello, I don't know, whatever, didn't work out. You know, that whole stupid incident in New York with his hand, cut his hand mysteriously in the hotel room. God knows what he was doing. Oh shit. Milan 3-1. All right, well, I can see some people raving about this shit today. Raving about Salad. I'm glad for Salad, man. Okay, he's 35. Even worse. Christ. You know, I just don't see any of these youth players that we have left on the team in Bartasagi. I don't see him much a big and a chance to an opportunity with the team. I know he's lacking. He hasn't really stepped up like he should. But there's a ton of other players that he should have had chances on this team, right? Simic, where is he now? He's in Belgium. He's balling it out. Anyways, let's get into the next topic. Let me get rid of this file. We'll get cracking to the next topic. Remove. All right. So let's get to the next topic, fellas. It did not remove. There we go. All right. Let me just get this little cup of coffee here. Yeah, like Greek coffee, it's different. God damn. All right. So, where to begin with this one? Fuck. Pervy Estupian. Peru player, played at Brighton. All right, I'm gonna give you an objective analysis, not how I feel about the player. I'll get into that after I kind of present both sides, right? The good things people said about him and the negative things. All right, and I pulled stuff from Reddit, Twitter, things that some analysts have said about him, sporting analysts that in the EPL, scouts as well, just to give you a full picture of Pervy. Because I know a lot of other podcasts have done their takes. And a lot of them, like even Kush, he was, even though I didn't like what he said about the Maldini thing, about him wearing Maldini, like the Bateo, I should say, right? Wearing Maldini shirt, whatever. He was pretty objective about Esteban. All right. I mean, he gets us some good things, but he also highlighted some of his other, setbacks, stuff, his weaknesses. But I'm going to dive into much deeper to that on this one, right? Because honestly, I haven't watched the player. I know he was at Brighton. At some point, he was one of the top 5, top 6 rated left backs in EPL, which doesn't mean much to me, honestly. It is the EPL. I mean, the EPL is score first. It's a very high scoring league. Everybody plays, left backs are more like wing backs. They're not much like in terms of defensive responsibilities, not really in there, right? I mean, even look at Trent Alexander, right? Who's going to Madrid, one of the best backs in the world offensively, right? Him and Davis, right, from Bayern. But like Trent doesn't offer anything much defensively, and Esteban, in my opinion, doesn't either. Stuff that I've seen, stuff that I read. But anyways, let's get into some of the stuff people said about him. Let's get this thing out of the way. Captions again. Fuck you. All right, let me get the right thing here, fellas. Okay. Let's see if we can pull this higher. All right. I can't. Anyways. All right. There we go. So this is from Reddit. You can see here a couple different ones. Who's left in Brighton now? Are they aiming for relegation? Well, some guys say good riddance. He wasn't too happy about him. What a drop off. Thought he was going to go to a world class level, meaning this guy thinks that going to Milan's fucking drop off. But more importantly, where's the other shit I had here? All right, so some people say, so long, Pervy, you did absolutely nothing for me last season. It was great right up till I put him in my team. Where is the analysis? Okay. So somebody said Estupian is the premier attacking option at Brighton defense, known for his dynamic runs, involvement in the attacking third. We all talked about that. Estupian becoming a key player of Brighton defensive play. So talking about offense, right? All those attacking stats, they are a little bit way below Theo's, right? Have dipped. But I was looking for something else and I just don't have it. I have it here. Hold on, fellas. Plastic Milanismo. Oh. God damn it. Anyways, I can't find it. All right. My bad. Came unprepared. That's for me. I wanted to say was fuck. So it looks like some analysts were talking about the fact that some broadcasters too. Let me find it. Hold on. See if I can grab it. Give me a second here, fellas. Sorry about that. So what's the score now with Milan? 3-3-1, huh? I'm sure people are gonna have a field day with that. The fact that we're beating up on Liverpool in the preseason game doesn't mean much to me. Just a good indication. Just you hope that all your players come back healthy, and that's it. Oh shit. Where is it? Players. Oh, okay. This is what I wanted too. Let's just bring this up. Let's do that. But it's something else I want to pull up. What is it? No. Came unprepared. So this one, Nico. Son of a bitch. Ah, here we go. This is not it. Huh? Where is it? Let me pull it up, fellas. Sorry about that. Son of a bitch. Estupian. EPL. Analyst. What? Oh, hold on. Where is it? Sorry about this, fellas. Give me a second here. Bring this overview. All right. Estupian's coming in. What else is in the chat? Dun, 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 dun. I thought I had notes. Fuck me. Okay. Anyways, never mind. So yeah, pretty much what I wanted to say was some analysts, some EPL guys had said that yeah, Estupian looked good, right? But the minute that Brighton had some injuries to their midfield, I'll find his name. I'll share it in the chat later. In the Milanista 360 chat. And by the way, anybody listening for the first time, if you're not part of the chat, our What's Up chat, if you want to join, just a disclaimer, it gets rowdy in there. It gets kind of crazy, kind of local. Hit us up on Instagram or on Twitter or X, whatever. On my account, on Milanista 360 account, then subscribe to the channel too. Appreciate that, and then we'll send you the link to the What's Up and get you in. Right. That being said, the minute Brighton lost some of their midfielders, right, some of their really high quality midfielders last season, Estupian had a hard time defending. So what does that tell you? All right, what does that tell you? Our midfield is not that great. We have it each year right now. We have Modric, we have Fofana, we have Musa, we have Cheeks, we might have Jashari. Right, that looks like we're paying for him, but whatever. I don't I'll get to him in a second. Esteban again is not going to have any coverage. Modric's going to be playing in the middle of the field. He's 38 years old. He doesn't have the pace, the stamina, even in one competitions a season. And, for him to cover as much space as he did at Madrid, to eat up balls. Rich is not known for that as well. Rich has got his younger, short, but he's not a defensively strong player. Especially out you putting him out wide to the channel. If he's playing in a 3 midfield system, 4 midfield system, 5, whatever the case is. I can't imagine playing with 5 midfielders. We don't have enough midfielders for that. We're not going to have any depth. So let's say I'm guessing 4, let's say. He's got to cover those wide channels. Especially if Esteban doesn't get back. And if Esteban does get back, the fact that, again, Esteban's going to have a weak midfield shielding him in front. He's going to struggle. He struggled at Brighton, and it wasn't just because of his injuries. The fact that when those midfielders were out, and the quality of players dropped in front of him, he dropped as well. He's not an elite defender. There's very few elite left-back defenders nowadays. Very few. But Esteban is not that person either. I don't care what people say. Give him a chance. He's guy's 27 years old. I don't care if some teams a couple of years ago were looking to get him for 40, 50 million. The fact is, he's worth 17. All right, because if somebody of those teams really wanted him, like Liverpool or Man United, I don't know, whatever it's fine, they would have bought him. If he was that high level, if he was really that regarded as one of the best left backs in EPL, he would have left Brighton, in my opinion. And it's not a good deal. I know some podcasts saying this is a good deal. This is a great deal. It is not a great deal. Because even from a Moneyball perspective, right? He's 27 years old. He's not 23. He's not 24. He's not 21. And we've seen his value is not going to go that much higher, right? We've seen how our other players that we've had, have their value increased a lot. No, Theo's dropped dramatically for various reasons. Even like TJ, his value probably went up a little bit, and we sold him for nothing, right? We made that deal with Man City. So overall, there's good things about Esteban. People say really good things about him. But on the flip side, a lot of people say negative. Like they especially ex-professional players. And I'll get those quotes later at some point. I just can't find them for the life of me. These struggles defensively the minute his midfield fell apart. And again, he's not playing with a strong midfield this season too in Milan. So yeah, overall, I just don't see. He's not an upgrade. He's not a replacement for Theo. I mean, technically he is, but he's not a direct replacement. Yet Theo had his issues defensively. We already know that. Not scanning the field, not people making runs behind his back shoulder, right, the back post for goals, right, things like that. But at the same time, you got to remember too, those are individual mistakes which should have been fixed by his coaches as well. Those are not physical attributes. It has nothing to do with him being physically gifted or fast or slow or short or tall, whatever the fuck it is. It's a mental thing. It's an individual thing. And those things should have been fixed. We saw that with all our defenders last season making those mistakes. And Fonseca didn't fix it. And Conceição definitely didn't fix it either. So you got to blame the coaching staff as well last season for not fixing those individual mistakes. It's not all Theo's fault that he can't defend. Because a top coach will fix that. 100%. Because if they'll trust me, a high quality coach, high quality coaching staff will drill that into the player time and time again during training sessions. Will make them run if they have to, if they make those mistakes time and time again, even at the professional level. And in that regard, I think Allegri and the coaching staff that he's put together, that are all, every single one of his coaching staff members are defensive-minded coaches. They should be able to fix those mistakes this season. Doesn't mean we're going to have the best defense in Serie A by any means. But I'm hoping things will improve on that end. All right, so that's Pervy. So overall, yeah, I'm not too crazy about Pervy. We'll see about Pervy this season, how he performs under Milan. But again, he's not a high-quality player. He's not a direct replacement for Fadinho. Yes, but he also dropped. He did value, not just because of his injuries, but if you look at some of the quotes some people have said about him, some former EPL players who are now sports analysts in EPL said once his midfield fell apart, his midfielders got hurt, right? They got wrecked, right, with injuries. His performance dipped, especially defensively. I think that's another reason too. People realize as well, like shit, the minute he doesn't have a fucking supporting staff, he's not that great of a player. But we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see. All right, let's move on. Moving on up to the east side. Moving on up. All right, next one. Thirsty for Jashari. Redbird Fellaini never chased after a talented Italians. All right, so thirsty for Jashari. Where do we go with this? Let's bring up the photo here. As you can see here, here's our boy. AI kind of sucked here. I tried to put Fellaini and it looks like a fucking hybrid of Fellaini and Jerry over here. Anyways, one of these Redbird fuckers on his knees with flowers proposing to Jashari. All right. So it's not a done deal yet, but it looks like Milan is going. They've increased their offer last time I checked, 30-something mil plus bonuses, whatever the hell. Say 35 mil. Jashari had one good season, average. We're chasing, and not more than that. We're chasing there Milan. Because I'm not a supporter of this project. I love the club. I'm not supportive of this project at all, whatsoever. I can't get behind it one bit. Sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, honestly. Let's be real. But fellas, Milan is chasing after Jashari, just the way they chased after Fofana last season. If you remember this, the whole thing with Fofana last season, how much they spent time the whole summer chasing after Fofana. He's a decent player. He's all right. He's not a ball-winning midfielder. He's not a replacement for Kessie or Tonali, one of these players. But we're spending the whole goddamn summer, Milan is, over Jashari. He doesn't have any other competition. There's no other clubs out there bidding for him at all. No big clubs anyways, right? Maybe some other mid-table clubs, because we're mid-table now. And I'll get to the stats in a minute, right? Let's pull up the stats here. Fucking Fellaini on one knee, on two knees, proposing to Jashari. That's pretty much tells you everything about how this club looks right now. All right, let's get rid of this thing here. and pull up some fun stats to dive into here. Screen share, I don't know. All right, so let's look at the midfield that we have together. All right, here we go. So let's pull up defensive actions. So I'm comparing this midfield that we currently have, or we are going to have, to Napoli's. One of the best midfield they've had in Serie A for a long time, right? In my opinion. Right up there with us, Scudetto winning midfields. They even got more depth now with McTominay. He's Serie A. The MVP of the league. They've added De Bruyne too to that mix, right? All right. So let's look at some stats here. Boca. All right. Interceptions 21. This is ball winning, right? Ball recoveries, right? This is one stat you look at. McTominay 24. And Giza 35. He's the real tank of that midfield. De Bruyne 7, yeah, he's more of an attacking midfielder. Jashari 20, Fofana 19. All right. Fofana is the best tackler, all right? 50%. Jashari just straight up is not a defensive player. Only 33% tackles won. And then you got Engiza 44, Tommy 48, Luboka 61, which is a crazy stat. So that's one. Now let's get into presentations, share screen. Let's get into the next one. Where is it? Defensive actions for our other midfielders. So Ricci, 25 interceptions. Modric's 27. Ricci, pretty good tackles. 64% of his tackles won. Loftus Cheeks 50. Modric's 43. So with these stats, right? And then adding Jashari to the mix. What are we lacking, fellas? We put that out there for the chat. Where is our ball-winning midfielder? Again, another unbalanced midfield. Now we're chasing after Jashari, right? We're spending Milan spending all this time just overpaying for him. Super thirsty for this player. Begging for him to come to Milan. Thinking he's going to be a game changer. He's not. They're doing it to upsell. They're hoping that they increase his value. Because if they really wanted to build a sporting project, we all know this, right? Everybody that comes into the channel that follows that's part of our WhatsApp group and stuff. We said it a million times. This is not a winning club. They're not putting a winning project together. How could you? When you're adding Jashari, you're overpaying for him. More importantly, if you really care about the money, right? And more importantly, too, as well, another thing, why doesn't Milan do that? Let me take this presentation down here. We stop sharing it. Stop sharing. Okay, stop sharing. Shit, I'm fucking rusty as hell. So we look at some stats. Why can't Milan, everybody in the chat, Fadinho, whoever's listening, Angelo too, why can't Milan, for once, overspend on an Italian player? Like Scalvini, even that kid Leone, was going to be a great center back, I guaranteed. The kid's got to look to us. He's going to be a very good center back at some point, and probably not for an Italian team either, right? He's probably going to go to the EPL at some point at this rate. But why can't they spend a little bit of cash and overspend on an Italian player, especially a defender, something that we need, a high level? We didn't do it to Calafiori. He was too expensive. Scalvini, oh, he's too expensive. The name goes on and on the list. Yet, these fucking, this management, these bozos, right, with a capital B, are chasing after Ardan Jashari. This had one good season, one. More importantly, what does he do to our midfield? Look at the stats. Look at the way he plays. He's not a defensive-minded defender. Right? And look at how we're going to stack up next season. Let's bring up this screen share and share this. Line the builder. So this is a little bit outdated, but let's just, for argument's sake, say we add Jashari here. Let's see if we can add another player. Just to have a little fun here. Can I edit this? Oh, I can edit the formation. Where is it? Let's start with a 3-4-3. All right. Estupian to him here. I don't want him there. Well, let me do it. It's a little strange. All right. Well, that's our midfield, say. Even with Jashari, who would Jashari take over, I guess? We take Estupian out? Because Esteban can't play this position. He's not a true center back. Oh, we're playing with 5. All right, let's play with 5. Just for the shit, the hell of it, right? Let's add 5. Because this formation, I don't see how this formation is going to work either. That's a weird one. 3-5-2. 3-5-2. Let's put it here. I mean, Pulisic's probably going to play here. Let's do by here. Jimenez here. Even with a 3-5-2, who's going to be out of the starting lineup? I guess Ricci, right? So let's get Ricci out of here. Say just out of here. So Ricci's going to be benched. I don't know. Yeah, Fabinho, Leone too, and even like Roma, they're going after this high quality center back. I forget the kid's name. He's the U21 captain. Another really good, talented center back. And Roma's chasing after him. Good for Roma too. You know, and Leone, honestly, I'd love to see him at Napoli with Conte and playing under with that club over there, learning up under that system. But anyways, if we play a 3-5-2, right? This is the way the club's going to look like. 3-5-2, and Leao's going to be more central. So we got all these players. Esteban's definitely a starter. Jashari is definitely a starter. Madrid's going to be a starter. You know, and who's going to replace him? Ricci probably, right? Ricci's probably going to be his backup. They'll probably get alternate games between him and Ricci. Fofana, who's going to be pressing him? Musa, who doesn't have anybody pressing him for time. And Pulli. And you're right, Orsolini is a right wing, but it's never going to happen. And your center backs, this is your best center back pairing. Left center back, and right center back. I don't want to see Pavlovich on the field. Don't even speak to me about Pavlovich. The guy's got lead feet. He's the most least technical player that we have, that Milan has on this club, on this squad. Chow, my biggest fan about him, he makes mental mistakes. But this is the way the lineup looks like if we play a 3-5-2. And say we play 4 in the back. Let's just say we play 4. Wow, I don't want this guy, man. Oh, Pavlovich. Don't even come in the field, bro. So let's play with 4 in the back. And we're just already here. Logics. Play a 4-4-2. Who's covering Estupian? So Estupian's making these runs up the field. Are we really Jashari, who's not a defensive player, is going to be covering this space? Or is he going to be playing more central? All right, let's put Fofana there. Let's just play for double. Let's just mess around here, right? Keep everybody happy. Fofana. Is he going to play here and cover the space? No. Is Jashari going to be covering the space? Those wingers on the wide channels 1v1. Fellas, no matter how you shake this thing, I don't see any of this stuff working out. Any of these formations are actually going to put a competitive team, even with all the defensive coaching that we have, that Milan has on the squad, with Allegri and his coaching staff that we went over before, right? And Pulisic's decent here. He can cover the space. He's all right. But this is it. Even if you play a 4, what other formations? Take a look here. Just to see how we're gonna look with different formations. 4-3-3. Right? Most balanced, right? One of the most classic. They got Pulisic here. That's funny. Oh, Christ. So that's that. Let's put this button there. Can manage it there. It should be Kamada here, but whatever, in my opinion. So now you got this. Does that look strong to you, this midfield? No matter how much you cut, you can throw numbers in here. You could put 4, 5 midfielders. I don't care. Yeah, it's going to be bigger. You're going to be able to stack more players, right? In terms of numbers, have the numerical advantage in front of your back line. All right? A 4-4-2, whatever the case is, you can play 3-5-2 too. Let's play 3-5-2. Let's get real crazy. Let's put Pulisic here. This is your midfield. True midfielders right here. None of these are ball winners. All right? Even the guy Warren Bondo. I like to see more of him. I mean, he was on the Nesta. He turned into a kind of a DM. So I give him that he was, kind of got the mentality under Nesta's tutelage, right? Coaching. But again, I don't see any of this stuff working, fellas. Angelo, this this midfield again for the second straight season is a joke. Milan's spending all this cash. They brought in Modric. Great for mentoring. Cool. I'll mentor these players. Leadership, whatever. But who's winning balls back? Who's defending? Who's, the biggest ball winner, like I said, is recovering balls is for fun. But if you compare this midfield to Napoli's. It's night and day between Anguissa, McTominay, De Bruyne, Lobotka. That's a scary fucking midfield, man. They're gonna tear people up. We have no fucking, there's no beef, there's no grit, there's no teeth. Especially when we're losing the ball, right? And we're trying to, you know, counter press. These are not counter pressing midfielders. Even if we set up in a mid block, who's going to be winning balls back? Yeah, Madrid will be directing it. They'll be able to direct the midfield on how to set up their mid block, right? Where players should be, and what shifting over from left to right, following where the ball is, right? Making sure there's not too much space between the players. All that stuff. But holy guacamole. This is another weak cream puff midfield. Hey, Gunati, how are you? What's happening? Gunati, remember guys, Milan still have this guy, Henrik Osman. He determines the valuation of the club, player on the club shoulders. That's why Tyron make a bid best on the valuation. And, you know, more importantly too, you got to remember all these decisions. I don't want to get too much away from the tactical stuff, but shit, who's making all the calls, fellas? It's Forlani. Yeah, let's be real. You know, Tyron might have might have something in mind, but he's got to run it up the chain and ask Big Papa, Sugar Daddy Forlani, is that okay? Can we do this? What do you think, Forlani? But again, this, fellas, no matter how much you chase it, why are we thirsty over Jashari? Jashari, whatever his name is. We call him Jurassic. Why? He has no value to this team. Tactically, at all. Technically, sure, he's a very technical player, but tactically, how does he fit in? It's just, this is another weak ass cream puff midfield. All right, that's enough about that. I can go on for another hour talking about this cream puff roster that we have put together. Wow, but Okafor's on a fucking scoring streak, man. He's looking to keep his job at Milan. Is he out of shape, Fadinho? How's Okafor looking? I heard that he looked a little puffy again. It's funny because when he went to Napoli for a quick minute, he got ripped. Like Conte put him into shape real quick. Because he just have different expectations from their players. You know, bottoms up. But I heard Okafor's looking a little puffy again. He put on some weight. He went back to eating those fucking tortas, those tacos. That's the case, fuck. You know, if you're coming back out of shape again, that's on the player too. In the off season, you got to take care of yourself. I mean, you're making millions of dollars. You can hire strength and conditioning coaches, personal chefs, whatever, and stay in shape throughout the fucking, off season. No excuses over for it. But yeah, good for him. He scored a goal. Well, let's see if they keep him, get rid of him. I have no idea. All right. Oh shit, almost an hour in. It's nuts. All right, so we did that. We got kind of ahead of ourselves. We did this before as well. All right, this is the big one. This is something I really wanted to speak about today. Where is our youth players? So let's see. Hopefully I get the right list. Do I have it here? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Angelo, man. Tortas are fucking dangerous. He's probably got his own taqueria, fucking Okafor at his house. Little taco stand. He eats that shit every day. All right, so this graph is small as shit. I apologize, fellas. All right. So just giving you an idea, this was the whole list, and I'll get into the more specifically some of the big name players that have been let go. So obviously, Futuro, players have been let go, departures. Gabriel Alessi, free transfer. Bob Murphy, Omerga, Lapunava, it was Cremonese, Andre Bolozaino, Matteo Sandri. This is the big one. Noé Revere. He's the French keeper. This guy was one of the top goalkeeping prospects in Europe in the world. All right. And he's being sent out, not even given a chance, or even being sold, not even being given a chance to come up to the first team, make a couple of appearances, bring his value up. If you don't want to keep him, this is the right way to fucking do it with your talented players. Make him some appearances, bring his value up, and then you sell him. Camarda, Bartasaghi. Camarda's the big one. Bartasaghi. Looks like he might be on his way out as well, possibly. But the big names that I really wanted to get into, that's a whole fucking laundry list, fellas. Oh, there's a couple more players there as well from the previous season, right? Presentation. Oh yeah, never mind. There we go. Let's bring up the other. Nope. I don't want that. Presentation. Yeah, here we go. True Milanismo. Let's get rid of the captions. All right. So I got Zeroli, Camarda, Simic, Liberali. We all know this guy's the most technically gifted player we've had. Milan's had in a long time coming through the youth system. So let's dive into it. 2024-25. Zeroli made some appearance with us. He looked pretty good. Loaned out to Monza. Not even given a chance. Over, and it will keep him Musa, by the way, right? This club, this management still keeps Musa over Zeroli. Camarda, going to Lecce. Went to Lecce, I should say. He scored a hat trick the other day. Yeah, it was against some C-level team, right? Serie C or I don't know, Z, I have no idea. All right, should be our second striker, without a doubt. The guy is a natural scorer. He's put on weight. He's put on muscle. The kid's and he loves the club more important. The kid's got a tattoo of the curler, right? As much as I'm not a big fan of them, the kid loves his team with his fucking heart. He bleeds fucking red and black. Loaned out. Simic could be one of our center backs. Promising player. Made some appearance with us. Looked good. Looked composed. Looked like he belonged on the team. Didn't even give him a chance to start. Permanent transfer. And now, the most latest one, Liberali. His contract ends at June 2026. No extension. All right. According to some reports, they're deciding between permanent sale or a loan in the upcoming window. And Parma is looking at him. It's saying it all hinges on his preseason performance, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that because last year he played well last season too, during preseason. What happened to him? He wasn't even given a chance with the club. All right. And if you look at the lineup, right, with say, Modric and Ricci fighting for minutes, right, or whatever. It's like I can't see Ricci over Fofana or Jashari. Not going to bench a $35 million player. We have Gabi. Even if he starts, the only Italian starter on the fucking club. So where's that? Where's the Italian core? No Italian core again. So no Italian core. cream puff midfields, unbalanced, loaning out, getting rid of all our talented youth players, every single one of them. The one that should be on this club, all out. All right? Because 1,000%, Musa should be out, should have been loaned out, sold, whatever, and Zerolo should be in that position, that gap. So yeah, in terms of meeting quotas for when I even playing Champions League, so it didn't even fucking matter. I was gonna think about European competition and keeping the quota for having certain homegrown players. I don't think that makes a fucking difference. We're playing in Serie A the whole fucking season. So that breaks everything down, fellas. Let's get rid of this. Let's stop sharing. Presentation. Remove. I don't want to remove that. Why restream? Come on, dude. All right, maybe I gotta do this. Oh. There we go. Remove. All right, so bada bing, bada bang. Comments, questions. All right. So everything that we covered today, all right. Coaching staff, all defensive coaches, our newest fucking signing, Estupian, Jashari, thirsty for Jashari, right? Probably a new midfielder, right? Everything that we discussed today, what your feelings? Tell me. How do you feel about this upcoming season? But personally, for me, like I said, I am not crying about it and that shit, but being, just honest. Like I said, I have no faith in management. Never had. Again, putting together another squad that's unbalanced. It's not made to compete. Not meant to win any Scudettos, even if they're playing one competition this whole season. None of that matters. And 100% Angel, this management cannot give away youth and expect to build. And more importantly, I've touched one last thing I've touched about on this before, right? So you've seen the trend. We got rid of all these players. Liberali is probably on his way out. Kamad is out. Somebody who should be playing. Liberali too should be on the squad. Two most talented youth players that we have. The Noah kid, the goalkeeper, one of the most top talented youth, keepers in Europe and the world, gone. For nothing. Not even given a chance to bring his value up. Simic gone a couple of seasons ago. Right? Zeroli gone. And if you're a 14, 15-year-old kid, right? Super talented kid. And you're looking to sign, you're looking to get signed with a big academy, a big club, and join their academy level team. Why in the world would you select if Milan came knocking tomorrow? Like, hey, we've been following you for a while, and we want you to sign with us. Who in their right fucking mind, would want to sign for Milan? Which youth player seeing this? The way it should work, right? Is when youth players come up, you go into the ranks, you go into certain levels, you finally make it, and you're ready. You've been balling out. All the scouts, all the coaches love you. The senior coach loves you. And you have a chance to go. You make either they're going to keep you, great. They should keep you, or at least play you enough times to build your value up and sell you for a bunch of cash. One or the other. The fact that most of the kids are not even given a chance, and then sold for peanuts, for scrap. That's not the way to do it. That's not a way you run a club, right? Because even like look at the former coaches we had. We had Fonseca. He was big on playing youth players. Conceição definitely was with Porto, with their academy players. All those kids were given a chance to play. But when they came to Milan, those two coaches didn't play youth players at all. And why? We all thought maybe they didn't think maybe the players were not good enough, not up to the level, which is bullshit because Boost is not up to the level. Loftus-Cheek is not up to that level. Pavlovic is not up to that level. It was Furlani making the decisions, the higher ups, maybe Ibra too. I don't know. This is just a theory that I have in my head. Because now we're seeing now that Conceição Fonseca has left. Who is he going after? Torriani. So now he's playing youth players again. He's going after youth because he sees a value in youth players. But again, just add up 2 and 2 together. These coaches are not given the opportunity to play the youth players at all. They just sell them away. They just get rid of them, discard, loan them out, sell them for nothing. You know, demote them to the Futura team, and they fucking disappear and fucking rot in Serie G. And now we got Allegri, his team. We got Allegri, a dinosaur. Will not play youth players less than Conceição Fonseca, unless he needs to play. Unless there's a necessity, unless somebody comes down with a fucking bad injuries out for half the season, he's gonna have to play one of these kids. Whoever's left, you know. And most of them are gone. The only one that's decent, that's still on the club that I know of, midfield wise, is that kid Voss. He was hurt last season. He's recovering. He looks like a decent player. I don't know. I need to see more out of us. But he's the only one. Oh, we have Ibra's kid too. Yeah, great. That's the reason why we got rid of Abetti. Milan got rid of Abetti. Because he didn't want to play fucking Ibra's fucking stupid kid. You know, it's going to be funny too. One last thing. Wouldn't it be funny that they get rid of all the talented players that compete with Ibra's kid? It's just a conspiracy theory that I have. Wouldn't it be fucking hilarious if Ibra's kid at some point gets promoted to the first team and plays? Then you'll see how fucked it, how corrupted this whole fucking project is. Because honestly, let's be real. Most of these people should have been gone after this past season. Ibra should have been left. Should have been kicked out. Furlani can't go because he's an alien employee, so he can't leave. But Ibra should have gone. Definitely Moncada should have been demoted or fired too. Anyways, that's it, fellas. That's all I got. All right, Angelo, Fadinho, Granardi, appreciate for keeping the chat going. Appreciate it, fellas. What's the score on that? Is it over the game? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Milan. Whoa, man. Whatever, fucking Milan 4-2. Woo! Winning Scudetto, fellas. We're winning the Scudetto. Diaz scored, Loftus-Cheek scored. Wow, I'm sure people are gonna be raving about him today. He should be he's balling out again. And Okafor with a brace. Damn. Let's see who timeline. Let's see who did Liverpool play. They played. Grabbing Batch in the back, that's fucking weird. Grabbing Batch is a CDM. They played him next to Ben Dyke. Weird. Aha. Where it's up front. I mean, yeah. Bartasagi. Well, it's a weird fucking lineup they had. had Pulisic playing next to Fofana, according to this. Pavlovic, Chow Tamari. That's a terrible center back there. Did Gabia play? Oh, Gabia did play. Musa came in. Magni's there. Jimenez is there. Colombo. Liberali, no minutes. No. Right by Liberali, he'll be loaned out again. Magni played. He's a decent player, but he's not going to stick around either. All right, so fellas, thank you for locking in again. Angelo, again, Fadinho, Gurnardi, appreciate the love. Anybody else that's locked in but didn't really participate in the chat, that's cool. But if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, like button, leave a comment after the show, good or bad. All right, just don't get too personal. And if you're interested in joining our crazy ass What's Up chat, right, Fadinho, this gets pretty nuts, fellas. Angelo should know too. To reach out to myself on Twitter or on the Milanista 360 account. Somebody will get back to you and we'll vet you, make sure you're not some nut or a spy. All right, we don't like spies or rats. And we'll get you that link, and we'll let you join our rowdy fucking bunch of Milanisti. All right. Till next time, fellas. Take care. Have a good weekend. All right. Take care.